Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So 2 days ago, I resumed our updates on recent draft series where I go through drafts and see how these guys are progressing, whether or not they're going to turn into high-level NHLers, or maybe if they're trending towards being more so busts. We did 2023 2 days ago, and now we had the 2022 draft that took place in Montreal, with Montreal picking first overall. So yeah, we're going to rifle through the first round and then see if any of the guys in the second round really catch our eye. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh round, and see how they are developing. Up first, Slavkovsky. I'm looking at him. Looks like he might. He's going to need a. No, he probably will eclipse his 50-point mark, but not by much this season. With Slavkovsky, it's consistency, man. Back-to-back seasons of him being like, meh to start the season, but then really catches fire towards the end. Still only 20 years old, is a March birthday. He's going to be 21 relatively soon, but 6'3", 225 pounds. Think he can become a point-per-game guy, especially with some of the talent that Montreal has. Wasn't like a consensus first overall pick, so it's not like Montreal, fine pick. Maybe it was questioned in the moment, but Slavkovsky's looking like a pretty solid player. Simon Nemec. I think this dude's getting traded this summer, especially now that they extended Kovacevic on that right side. They got him, Pesci, and Hamilton. He's only played 20 NHL games this season. Looks so promising in that first NHL season. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Simon Nemec right now, but I think it might be just best for his career and honestly for the Devils to recoup some assets at this point in terms of him going somewhere where he can get serious minutes, because it might just not happen in New Jersey. Now, no, Nemec wasn't some reach on draft night. He was considered a no doubt top two defenseman, him and Juracek. But yeah, New Jersey, not quite ideal as of right now. Logan Cooley, that's a pretty ideal pick, considering this guy has been trending amazingly. 60 points in 39 games at the college level, 44, now 50 and 62. Looking like he can turn into a number one center. He was my number one prospect in the 2022 class, and he's pretty young for this draft class with a May birthday. Yeah, great playmaker, very smooth in transition. Actually, goal scoring at a pretty high rate. Maybe he can eventually become a solid 30-ish goal guy. I was not too high on his shot, but obviously his playmaking has fully translated. At 20 years old, is probably going to finish, would have finished with 60 points if he didn't get hurt, might still finish with 60 points. He's been that good. Shane Wright has really came on of late. This isn't even 40 points in 67 games, very good numbers, but I think a lot of this is in the last 47 games or so. He's been Seattle's probably best forward in the year 2025. So yeah, it's been looking good. Still, I mean, he was just overhyped, unfortunately, because he was so good in his first season at 15 years old, 39 goals in 58 games. But he's looking like he's going to develop into a very good top six forward. So good on Seattle. Got a solid guy at fourth overall. We thought it was a steal in the moment. A little bit of a shaky development curve for Shane Wright. It was so stupid that he started in the NHL immediately. They just rushed him in terms of that. But yeah. Very impressive from Shane Wright. Nice little bounce back. Cutter Gauthier got clowned early on in the season for not producing a ton. About a half a point per game. Again, on Anaheim, as we looked at with Leo Carlsson. Nobody's really killing it offensively this season. So I'm not worried about Cutter Gauthier. I think he's shooting 6 or 7%. I still think he's going to be around the 30 and 30 guy at that next level. Anaheim's going to be fine. A lot of their young guys are just going through it with Craig Cronin as the coach. Juracek, we did the Hudson video, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the defenseman. But yeah, 6 points in 26 AHL games is not quite ideal. I'm sure the Iowa Wild aren't some wagon. Okay at the NHL level with Minnesota right now. Going to be interesting to see next year if he's going to be a full-time guy at the NHL level, because I was extremely high on David Juracek. He was my number one defenseman ahead of Simon Nemec. Not saying Simon Nemec is levels above, but there are some defensemen in this draft that I probably would have. Korchinski, we also went through with the Lane Hudson video. Just a shame that he had to play in the NHL last year because of the CHL stuff. Couldn't play in the AHL. Okay offensive defenseman in the AHL now. Still think he can be a second pair guy. Marco Kasper has smashed expectations this season after an okay draft year plus one with only around half a point per game in the AHL. He's been great in the NHL. 27 games, 27 points in 63 games, playing firmly in their top six. The underlying numbers have been very solid. Yeah, it's looking like they got a good top six forward there. Moving on, we got Matthew Savoy of the Edmonton Oilers now. 42 points in 52 AHL games. Yeah, high-end offensive talent. Will he solidify himself a role in the NHL team next year is definitely to be seen. Will he have the overall game to become an effective top 6 forward, we definitely got to see. But offensively, playmaking-wise, he's probably got the goods at this point. I can firmly say. Pavel Mitnyakov, again, similarly with Cutter Gauthier, outside of like Jackson Lacombe, nobody's really having an amazing breakout season on Anaheim right now. And they mentioned it in the comments of the Lane Hudson video. He's definitely been deployed more so in a defensive setting. And although I don't like plus minus, he's improved a lot in terms of that department, going from a -20 to a -2. Connor Geeky, Tampa Bay Lightning's finest. Yeah, he struggled a decent amount at the NHL level, but again, still only 20 years old, was thrown in like a bottom 6 role on a contender. You couldn't really expect too much. But 9 points in 15 games at the AHL level is kind of encouraging. I think he can be a good middle sixer for Tampa Bay, and especially cost-controlled. They're going to need that the next 2 to 3 years. Still not worried about Connor Geeky. This guy was a monster in the WHL last year with, 99 points in 55 games? Good Lord. Denton Mateychuk up next. Monster in the AHL this year in the NHL. Not quite killing it offensively, but I still think he has a lot of offensive upside. See, Frank Nazar, I believe he's been very good at the NHL. Okay, 16 points in 40 games. AHL was great, 24 points in 21 games. It's going to be interesting if they're going to keep him at center, have him and Bedard as your 1-2 center punch, kind of undersized guys. But, yeah, very talented, funny enough, was involved in the Kirby Doc Romanov deal. So that's a nice little trade tree to go through. Rucker McGrody really has bounced back at the AHL level. Started off relatively slow. Started off in the NHL, did nothing. And yeah, I think he's probably been humming at like 0.8 points per game since his first 10 to 15 games. So that's pretty encouraging if you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. Jonathan Lakramaki, 19 goals in 32 AHL games. This guy's just a natural goal scorer. NHL numbers haven't been too great. Still think he's going to be around the 30-goal second liner. Just the talent that he has for goal scoring. 19 goals in 46 SHL games. Next up, we got Noel Oslind. Okay, solid in the AHL. Last year was very productive in the SHL in his draft year, +2. Now in the AHL, 24 points, 37 games. You'll take that. They got a little bit of a clog in terms of young forwards on Buffalo, but he should eventually break through, hopefully. Probably not next season, but the season after. Joachim Kamel. Okay, hasn't really taken that much of a step at the AHL level. Got some AHL action in his draft year, +1. This kind of stalled out a little bit. That's a little concerning for Nashville, but they have a metric shit ton of solid prospects. Liam Bichelle has been getting some NHL run. Big boy. Big boy. 6'7", 231 pounds. Offensively, not really an offensive defenseman, as you can imagine, at that stature. Yeah, I think next year he's going to solidify himself as like an everyday solid NHLer. If he can just be, it stinks because he's on that left side. Dallas has a shit ton of lefties. But, yeah, it looks like he can be a solid third pair eventual replacement for Esa Lindell. Miroshnichenko, I think I'm pronouncing that correct. 35 points in 40 AHL games. Solid. Then Washington just is loaded in terms of the future. This guy's probably like their 4th or 5th most promising young forward at this point, like Leonard, Protas, Crystal, and then this guy, 35 points in 40 AHL games is kind of like an afterthought. At this point, they can freaking draft and develop like no other. Owen Pickering, we saw him in the Hudson video. 6'5", I imagine more of a defensive defenseman, but not killing it exactly in Scranton. Nathan Goucher, 19 points, 56 AHL games. Probably nothing unless he's awesome defensively. I can't really imagine. Jimmy Snuggerud having a damn good season at the college level. Back to his 2023 kind of form. Fell off last year after he had Cooley and Nyes graduate and go to the NHL. But yeah, looks like he can be, I think he's going to be a very good second liner for the St. Louis Blues. They got a lot of good forward prospects. Danila Yurov, I believe, has had a bit of a down year. Yeah, in the KHL. Last year won the title as like arguably their best forward. 25 points, 46 games. Still think he's going to be a good middle sixer, but has definitely slid a little bit down in the prospect rankings. Sam Rinzel, defenseman, 31 points, 39 games this year for Minnesota. Right-handed defenseman, probably going to be the number 2 guy behind Leshnov on that right side. Very good pick by Chicago. Philip Meshar, I haven't checked up on this guy in a while. 10 points in 29 games in Laval. Last year in the AHL, not quite, just barely above a point per game. Not sure if Canadiens fans are really expecting much out of him at this point. I probably wouldn't. They have enough forwards as is. Philip Biested, 26 and 43. Okay. I mean, similarly to Montreal, like they're not relying on Bstead to become a high-level NHLer. If he turns into a good third liner, you kind of take it and run. I believe San Jose got this pick from because they traded out of the Connor Geeky pick. They got like this. Let's see, this, and this for that. Got a bunch of picks. Yuri Kulich. Ooh. Oh, no, that's NHL level. My bad. I thought that was the AHL numbers. I was like, oh, my God, he fell off. All right, 19 points, 49 games, 12 goals after killing it in the AHL for 2 seasons. He's developing very well. He's been like a top 30 prospect for me for a while. Maverick Lamoureux, 6'6" beast. 12 points, 29 AHL games. Very solid for a 6'6" guy. He's big. Brad Lambert has taken 4 goals in 50 games. Don't love that. Maybe it's just bad luck because the assists are still there at least. But yeah, 55 and 64 to now 29 and 50. Still think he's uber talented, but that's a little concerning. Isaac Howard, monster at Michigan State this year, I believe. Yeah, I think he was a Hobie Baker top 10 finalist. Basically, once he got out of Minnesota Duluth to Michigan State, has been one of the best players in college hockey. Very good pick for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and hopefully, maybe potential. I don't think he's going to play serious minutes come playoff time or play for the team. But next year should be a decent contributor. If him and Geeky can be effective third liners next year, that's going to be very big for that Tampa Bay team. Reed Schaefer, who was involved in the Matthias Ekholm trade, playing solid in the AHL after not the most impressive draft year +2 with 21 points in 63 AHL games. 14 and 19. I guess he's hurt. He got hurt. But definitely stock up a little bit. Owen Beck from Montreal, 39 points in 51 games. I think he's definitely ahead of Meshar as of right now on the prospect pool. Solid two-way guy. Potential third-line center down the line is definitely possible. Cam Lund, don't know too much about him. 40 points, 37 college level. San Jose Sharks, just another solid Sharks prospect. Furcus, I believe he was CHL Player of the Year last year. 30 points, 57. Okay, not killing it, but still think he can be a middle sixer. Artem Duda, we saw him in the Hudson video, so I don't have to go over him too much. Solid AHL numbers, though. Let's see. Fraser Mitten, 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points with the Providence Bruins. Did they mess up trading him? I still don't think so. The offensive numbers aren't that gaudy where you're gonna severely regress, severely gonna miss him. Maybe he turns into a very good third line center. Let's see. Paul Lewinsky, 6 points in 52 games. That's a nothing burger. Dylan James from Detroit, probably nothing. Let's see. Seamus, we already went through Seamus Casey in the defenseman one. He's killing it. Yanni Neiman, he played good in Liga a couple years ago. Okay, 41 points in 55 AHL games this season and got some NHL run. Yeah, his draft year +2, highly productive in Liga with 43 and 48. Damn good by Seattle. Seattle low-key killed this draft. The other Jack Hughes, how's the other Jack Hughes doing? Okay, probably not developing into anything. We might never have Jack Hughes versus Jack Hughes at the NHL level. Tristan Luneau, I'll just go over him again. 42 points in 46 games this year. Killing it. Righty, too. Buchnikov for Detroit, very monster. I don't know if that's proper English. KHL season, 54 points in 64 games. He was an overager in this draft, but he's a September 6th, so he's only an overager by 9 days. So barely even an overager. But 5'10", very skilled. Steve Yzerman, late second round, Russian. It tends to work out, if you got what I'm saying. Nikita Kucherov, not saying he's Nikita Kucherov 2.0. Matty Poitras, 25 points, 27 games, 11 and 33 at the NHL level. Next year, he should be a full-time NHLer. Like, let him run with it. Stop sending him down to Providence. He's obviously too good. Samuelsson, 21 points, 40 games. Coco, this guy was the Finnish goalie at World Juniors last year. 9-10, okay, 9-10 in 25 games. Got lit up in his one NHL game. Jesus. But that's impressive AHL numbers. Lane Hudson, got to go over him. He's having a decent little rookie season. What is it like this at this point? He's probably going to finish second most points in a rookie year of the past 30 years or something like that. Only Brian Leach has more. How's Odelius looking? Ooh, Bridgeport just sucks. I want Cole Yzerman and Richie nowhere near Bridgeport, man. They'll get it ruined. David Goyette killed it in the OHL, last year. Not quite doing anything at the NHL level. Or AHL, yeah. Who else we got? Keep on going through. Gavin Hayes was on Team USA, but not really doing much in the AHL. Suzdaliv, he was on Bedard draft year, so he looked like in his draft year plus one. It's like, oh, is this guy maybe something? No, he probably was just playing with Bedard, although he has been productive at the ECHL level. Elias Pettersson 2.0 has been getting some NHL run. Pretty encouraging. 6'3", 210. Quinn Finley, my guy for the Islanders, is having a big year for Wisconsin. 20 goals, 20 assists, 37. I thought really nothing of him after last season. Wasn't that impressive. If he turns into a goal-scoring third liner, that's a home run at 78th overall. Who else? Aiden Thompson. I feel like I know that name. Yeah, big year. 49 points in 39 games, along with Jack Devine and Boyum. National champion last year. Good pick by Chicago right there. Jordan Dumais, not exactly killing it at the AHL level. I guess I think he's dealing with an injury, I guess. Isaiah George, my Islanders, got some NHL run. He was like, just because we were so injured, he was okay. But 98th overall, already 33 NHL games. Pretty decent. Sergei Murashov, this is the Pittsburgh. I made my goalie tier list. People were screaming this guy's name. 9 games, 921 at the AHL level. KHL, 6 games last year, or only 6 games, 925. ECHL killed it. Could potentially be something for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Dennis Hildeby, this is a 6'7" guy. Yeah. Great at the AHL level last year. Not quite this year at the AHL level to the same level. NHL, 6 games, kind of got rocked. Danil Orlov. I feel like I'm definitely going to forget somebody, but Sergei Ivanov was a beast in the KHL last year. This year, not quite the same. 928 last year in 33 games. Matthew Maggio, OHL legend, but now he's just rotting in Bridgeport, unfortunately. That's sad. Bridgeport is where prospects go to die, sadly. Nikita Grabenkin! Already making his mark. Only played 7 NHL games, but has been productive in the AHL at 6'2". Physical monster, demon. Victor Mancini was in the JT Miller trade. Already making his mark at the NHL level. Decent pick by the Rangers, but now he's gone. Servac Petrovsky, that guy who had like a legendary World Juniors. I think that's it. No, Jack Devine. We got to go over Jack Devine. 7th round pick, has been like a top 5 player in college the last 2 years. Really good drafting by Florida. Maybe he joins the team for a cup run this year. Definitely should be on the roster next year. Oh, Dom Deven. This guy was highly regarded. I remember. AHL, okay, 914. And yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end it. Let me know in the comments, what guys did I potentially miss? What guys are you shocked by these updates, whether they're playing so good or kind of looking not very good? Let me know in the comments, what do you think? I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.